Hey folks, just a little update on HR 822. It's going before the House today for a vote. Um, I'm going to just read to you a little email from, well, I'm a member of the NRA, so it's an email from them. The facts about HR 822, the National Right to Carry Reciprocity Act. By the way, I have looked at this bill and they're not lying. Unfortunately, but predictably, H.R. 822 continues to be attacked by anti-gun organizations and the media. Regrettably, even some so-called pro-gun organizations have joined with the anti-gun Brady campaign and Michael Bloomberg's Mayors Against Illegal Guns to try to defeat this pro-gun bill. This critically important legislation introduced earlier this year by Congressman Cliff Stearns, Republican, Florida, and Heath Shuler, Democrat, North Carolina, and co-sponsored by more than 240 of their colleagues, would enable millions of permit holders to exercise their right to self-defense while traveling outside their home states. There's currently only one remaining state, and that's Illinois, that has no legal way for individuals to carry concealed firearms for self-defense. 40 states have permit systems that make it possible for any law-abiding person to obtain a permit, while most of the others have discretionary permit systems. Vermont has never required a permit. H.R. 822 would mark a major step forward for gun owners' rights by significantly expanding where permits are recognized. Dozens of states have passed right to carry laws over the past 25 years because the right to self-defense does not end when one leaves home. However, interstate recognition of permits is not uniform and creates great confusion and potential problems for travelers. While many states have broad reciprocity, others have very restrictive reciprocity laws, and a few deny recognition completely. H.R. 822 would solve this problem by requiring that lawfully issued carry permits be recognized in all states with some form of a permit system, while protecting the ability of the various states to determine the areas where carry is prohibited within their boundaries. Opponents of the legislation claim that it tramples on states' rights. States, however, don't have rights, they have powers. And while many anti-gun lawmakers who've long pushed national gun bans on private gun sales, national waiting periods, and other federal restrictions, have suddenly become born-again advocates of states' rights in opposing this bill. Several provisions in the U.S. Constitution give Congress the authority to enact interstate carry. Congress also has the power to protect the rights of citizens nationwide under the 14th Amendment. Next, despite what a few so-called pro-gun activists have argued, this bill would not create a federal licensing or registration system, nor would it establish a minimum federal standard for carry permits. Rather, it would require the states to recognize each other's carry permits, just as they recognize driver's licenses and carry permits held by armored car guards. Unfortunately, these self-proclaimed gun rights supporters, who have no active lobbying presence in any legislature, have an agenda that has very little to do with promoting the interests of gun owners. Here are the facts about a few of their claims. Myth. H.R. 822 would involve the federal bureaucracy in setting standards for carry permits, resulting in need requirements, higher fees, waiting periods, national gun owner registration, or worse. Fact. 822 doesn't require or even authorize any such action by any federal agency. In fact, since it would amend the Gun Control Act, it would fall under a limitation within that law that authorizes only such rules and regulations as are necessary to carry out the GCA's provisions. No federal rules or regulations would be needed to implement HR 822, which simply overrides certain states' laws. HR 822 would destroy permitless carry systems such as those in Arizona, Alaska, Vermont, and Wyoming. 822 would have absolutely no effect on how the permitless carry states' laws work within those states. For residents of Arizona, Alaska, and Wyoming, where permits are not required but remain available under state law, HR 822 would make those permits valid in all states that issue permits to their own residents. Residents of Vermont, where no permits are issued or required, could obtain non-resident permits from other states to enjoy the benefits of HR 822, meaning to carry without. If HR 822 moved through the legislative process, it would be subject to anti-gun amendments. Truth. By this logic, neither NRA nor any other pro-gun group should ever promote any pro-gun reform legislation, but inaction isn't an option for those of us who want to make positive changes for gun owners. Instead, we know that by careful vote counting and strategic use of legislative procedure, anti-gun amendments can be avoided or defeated. HR 822 is a good bill for gun owners. It is. It means it's an extension of the Castle Doctrine. Where you have a right to be, you can defend yourself. It's better than what's going on now. I mean, I know of people who do travel over state borders. They conceal carry. They just, the hell with it. But I really pity them if they have to defend themselves. Anyways, I hope that clears up some mud about things. Peace out.